Hi everyone. So I am just hopping on here real quick. This is actually a bit spur of the moment, but for those that don't want to know me, my name is Liz, and I came to Trinot because I was having what's called hemiplegic migraines, and I had been on lots of medications and doing lots of supplements for over a couple of years. I really hate this angle. So I'm gonna walk and talk. I'm just gonna hold it. So I was introduced to our whole flower fluid first, and I was real skeptical. I'm going to share with you kind of what's worked for me so that you guys have an idea. If you're someone in here who has suffered from headaches or migraines or know someone who has, maybe this can help you. So I had tried other oils, like other CBD products and things like that, without much help. And I was real skeptical when I got sent the sample of Soothe, because I felt like I tried everything else and I'd been seeing a neurologist for a couple years, and if that wasn't helping, why would this kind of thing? And when I took the Soothe, it helped immediately, like within 30 minutes, and I was blown away by that. So I've done a lot of research since then as to why did that work when nothing else did? A little history. My background is neurologic physical therapy. So through all of this, I was also treating patients with headaches and migraines, and I still didn't know this information. So we have within our body something called the endocannabinoid system. And if you've been in this group for a little bit, you've seen some posts about that. And basically, there's a lot of different receptors within the endocannabinoid system, but your two most prominent are the CB1 and CB2. CBD, which is the most common product you're going to see out on the market, is a derivative of cannabis. It's one of the cannabinoids out of like over 100 cannabinoids, okay? But it only works on one of those receptors, and it works on the receptors most commonly found, or most prevalent, in what's called your periphery system. So your immune system, your gut, your organs, things like that. But the other receptor, CBD doesn't work on, and those are the receptors that work on your central nervous system. Most patients who have headaches or migraines, and I say patients because that's my default. Most people who have headaches or migraines typically have something neurologic happening as well, right? And so this could be dizziness, lightheadedness, maybe you get some facial tingling, clumsiness, imbalance where you just feel off. All of those would be considered neurologic symptoms. I always used to start my education with my migraine and headache patients on food and the different foods that you should restrict because of migraine triggers. So I'm going to jump to that as well. So if you're having neurologic symptoms and you've tried CBD-based products, one of the reasons they may not be helping is because they're not acting on the right receptors. So our whole flower fluid has all of the cannabinoids, terpenes, flavonoids, everything. And that is why it has been more effective for me, amongst other reasons. But that's one of the main reasons why it's been more effective, is because of the receptors it works on, okay? Now, it also has a better absorption rate because it's water compatible. And you are getting the entourage effect, meaning that the THC, all the cannabinoids, the flavonoids, terpenes are working together. And when they all can work together, it's called the entourage effect. So if you haven't heard about that, you can Google it. It's really important as far as the effectiveness of cannabis, okay? So that's product number one. Now, I mentioned food, right? So I used to take my patients through food diaries, and they would, I had a whole list of foods that were possible triggers of migraine, and they would go through and highlight each of them, like anything that they regularly ate. Not something you ate one-off, but what did you regularly eat, highlight it, and then they'd come back and we talk about taking each one out, either one by one, and seeing if it helped the migraines, or we would take them all out and then gradually add them back in, but sometimes that was a little much because there were a lot of foods on there. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. If you don't wanna take out all the foods, a digestive enzyme such as our Lyth enzyme may be just what you need. It may not be that the food itself is the problem, but that your gut is working harder than it needs to or that it's capable of, and thus your gut, being your second brain, is then causing more issues for you. So when your gut doesn't have to work as hard and the digestive enzyme can break down those foods more readily and easily, and you can get the nutrients out of it quicker, it may not then be a trigger. Okay, so that's another thing. And then the last thing I want to touch on is that the two most common, hi Heather, the two most common supplements or vitamins that a neurologist will recommend for patients with migraine will be a B complex vitamin and a magnesium supplement, the mineral. So specifically, a lot of times they'll focus on B6 and or B12 for migraines, but really truly all, aw, Sarah, you're welcome. I love this. I could talk all day. No, but I won't. So your B vitamins, really you need all, there's 8 of them and you need all of them, but they've done more research on B6 and B12. So you want to make sure that you have those in your diet and or that you are supplementing them. Our Vibe has not only the B vitamins, but other really good brain nutrients in it, which are going to help tremendously. Plus, our B vitamins are sourced from plants, as you've probably heard if someone invited you into this group. So that's really important. B vitamin supplementation, super important for anyone with headaches and migraines, especially those with the neurologic symptoms. And then finally, magnesium. So the magnesium, my experience with it is I had to taper up from 250 milligrams up to 500 milligrams of magnesium nightly. Hi, Lorena. And I was told that I might have to figure it out as far as the amount because it could upset my stomach. Well, most over-the-counter magnesium supplements are hard pressed, meaning that there's some type of chemical additive that was put in there, and our body has to break down that vitamin in order to be able to utilize the magnesium in the system as we need it. Well, we just talked about gut, right? So if your gut's working harder to break down the chemicals that it doesn't need and then has to get rid of those to get to the magnesium, it's not going to actually be as effective. So you have to take more just to get the actual amount that your body is looking for. What's great about our Balance, which has magnesium in it, is that the magnesium is it went away and it came back. So what chelated means is that the mineral is encapsulated in amino acids. Our body makes certain amino acids. So our body makes 9 amino acids, and then we have to get 9 amino acids from our foods, and then there's 2 more. But a chelated mineral is encapsulated in the amino acids that your body naturally produces. So as you ingest it, your body recognizes it as something that it already makes, and it just breaks it down and uses it because it recognizes it. You're welcome. So it recognizes it, and it doesn't have to work hard to do anything because it's something that it already knows. Okay, so but chemicals it doesn't know. So that's the first part, and then it's a veggie capsule, so it's easy to break down. So once it breaks down, it's really easy for your body to use the magnesium. And then our magnesium is sourced from plants. So it's sourced from algae. That's always going to be better than something that was made in the lab. If you've got anything that's plant-based whole food, it's going to be better for your body than something that was derived in a lab. So I hope this is helpful. I hope that, someone can take away a nugget from this. If you have any questions, if something comes up, if you want to know more, I absolutely love to talk about this topic. It's something I've done a lot of research on. I not only for myself, but for a lot of the patients that I was treating previously. So I'm happy to share, and I hope everyone has a wonderful Thursday night, and I will see you all later.